Okay. When should I go? Like now?
Sure.
Okay. Um, okay, wait, stop. Okay. I chose athletic director. The description and duties that an athletic director does is it oversees all the aspects of the athletic programs associated with the school. They also keep track of the school's budget for athletic equipment for all sports teams. Another important thing they do is hire coaching staff, and keeping a good group of athletic staff members is super important to the students who are like involved with the sports throughout the school. The qualifications and credentials to become an athletic director, you would need a master's or higher degree in athletic administration, or there are some trainings that take place in like the timing of becoming an athletic director. The average salary for a high school athletic director in the U.S. is 100,300 per year, with the median total pay of $100,000. And then the graph's a little blurry, but that was the graph that I chose. Um, Athletic directors are really good in promoting things for the sports teams within the school. They make sure all the students are able to participate in athletic programs regardless of any of their backgrounds, like where they're from, or like past like situationships, maybe from like old schools or like whatever happened. And then they also ensure that all family members, friends, or others have a way to like get into the games, or maybe come and like see practices and like see how things work. Some pros and cons. Pros, they put a really big impact on students. They have a really big leadership role within like the entire school, and there's diverse responsibilities, like how like one kid may feel about the other, or like things like that, or like again like things like race and stuff like that. And then there's a lot of like professional growth within there. Like there's a lot of meetings that come into being a athletic director, like with other schools or like other districts, like stuff like that. And then some cons is there's high stress because of like having those meetings and like having to look professional and come off as like a good person towards the school and stuff like that. It's long hours. Majority of the long hours is because if you're an athletic director, you kind of have to be like flexible with your schedule. Like you have to be able to do things on weekends for like sporting events and stuff like that. Um, there's resource limitations and accountability. There's a lot that goes into accountability. Again, it's more so like when like the big events happen and stuff, you have to like always be ready to like be there. Um, I watched a video instead of interviewing someone, but some of the important takeaways from the video I watched was that having a flexible schedule will make the job a lot smoother. If you're constantly busy, you won't have enough time to make a decent schedule for sports games or practice. Games are one of the biggest things when it comes to sports because it's the best timing for students to show how they perform to a crowd. And practices can be a hard thing to plan also, because you need to make sure all coaches are where they need to be when you have the equipment they need for the days, or that they need for that day's practice. Sometimes practices can get canceled because of something personal, weather, safety things, and it's up to the athletic director to reschedule or come up with an alternating plan. And this is kind of like what it looks like in the office, I guess. And then it has like things on the side that like the salary and stuff like that. And then that's my site page.
Good job. Perfect. I can go next.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Wait. I can't. I can't see where it. Can you like see the whole like thing, or is it?
Is
Is
there
it?
like a present mode?
Yeah, present in Teams. Is that what it is?
Maybe.
No. I
Oh.
don't. I can't see it because of the like recording thing. Um, no. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. I just can't see like where, well, maybe I can move that. Um, no. Oh, view? No. I don't know how to do it, but
Okay.
whatever. Okay. So I did a school counselor. Um, and then my name is Macy, and I'm going to discuss what it takes to be a school counselor. So a school counselor is a professional that helps students meet their individual needs. They remove barriers to academic achievement. Um, they support emotional and social development, and they also guide college and career readiness. Some school counselor duties are academic and career development, emotional and social development, leadership, and then they like just support. Like they just provide a lot of support for all the students in the schools. School counselor salary, the lowest is 38,000 and the highest is 76,000. So, I mean, I like did like the equivalents per hour. So, they don't really get paid too much an hour, but um and then the pros of becoming a school counselor, they have job outlook security. They get a lot of benefits, so they have health, vision, and dental benefits. Most uh, careers do. And then they have the ability to help children, and they have a regular schedule, just kind of like a teacher does. The cons are training and education take up to 6 to 8 years. It's fast paced job, and sometimes it's really challenging, and the pay. And then, so the education process is they have to complete 30 credit hours at any in-state college, and then then they go to preliminary school counselor credentials, and that's only valid for 3 years. So after they get that, they can go into schools and kind of start working, but they still have to finish their degree. So then once they get their school counselor license, they are like okay to become like a counselor. And then for that license, they have to renew it every 5 years. Um, and then you have to get your master's degree. So, yeah, preliminary school counselors, and then the Michigan test for teacher certification. We have to take that as teachers, but then they'll have to take like a counselor edition, um, or like version, and then yeah. So basically, just what I said on the last slide. They have to do an internship and then get their license renewed every 5 years. And then I also watched a video. Her name was Kristen Godwin. She talked about how her job as a school counselor has changed a lot in the past few years. She said that she used to talk with students more about like their plan and like what they're gonna do after school, but now it has changed to more of like mental health and like social emotional needs that they need. Um, and then she said in her video that students' basic needs need to be met before students can do well in the classroom. And that just stood out in the video for me. She also talked about the different like stages of school counselors. So there's like elementary school counselors, middle school, and high school. In high school, they deal more with like college re- college readiness and like career readiness, but they also have like kids with learning disabilities that they have to help, and things that are going on at home that they have to help with. Um, and then middle school is like the same thing. Like they kind of deal with a little bit more violence in middle school, and like um, they also like are trying to get the kids ready for high school. And um in elementary school they deal with a lot of like physical and mental abuse at home. And um they talked about how in elementary school there's like one counselor for like two or three schools probably, but and then in middle school and high school they have to have like a few different counselors in each school. um and then there are the credits. And yeah.
Good job.
Okay. Now,
Okay. Ooh, oh, sweet. Yeah, I want to share my guys. What the heck? Can you guys see my screen?
the top of it, yeah, but it's okay.
Wait, what?
Like the top of it?
I don't like how this is present. Hold on.
We can see the slideshow. It just has like your tabs.
Oh, you can see the slideshow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's all that's important. Okay. Crap. What if I hit? Okay. Um, the role I chose was in English as a second language teacher. The role of an ESL teacher involves teaching English language skills to students whose native language is not English. ESL teachers play a crucial role in helping students develop their proficiency in English, both academically and socially. ESL teachers are solely looked upon to create a supportive environment where students feel comfortable practicing and improving their language skills. In order to advocate for your students, you must have an understanding on the unique challenges that they are facing and provide appropriate support. This can include adapting the teaching materials, providing extra opportunities to practice, and collaborating with other educators and support staff to meet the individual needs of each student. Integrating resources and techniques for these students is crucial, and the best way to do this is through technology, such as language learning apps and interactive games. And lastly, incorporating culturally relevant materials and activities that can help students feel valued and respected within the classroom. Having dipped my toes into the role of an ESL teacher my senior year of high school, I was able to see the broad range of cultural diversity coming from all sorts of backgrounds. Many of the students that I was able to work with had evidential signs of trauma due to the environment back home or the abrupt move to a new area with new ways of living, cultures, and a new way of education. This was a major spark in my interest to learn more about this role and how I myself can be an advocate for these diverse students. As an ESL teacher, you will be responsible for creating lesson plans that are more suitable to the student. This could include adding translations, whether they're spoken or written, a one-to-one approach, making sure the student has a full grasp on the material being presented, and provide ways to take the student's English proficiency to a higher level. With this being said, you will have the responsibility of assessing the student's progress, making sure they are where they need to be in their proficiency, and most importantly, where they are and how they are doing within the class setting. As an ESL teacher, do not be afraid to provide constructive feedback, as this is a great way to improve the student's language skills and rid of any present barriers. The responsibilities of an ESL teacher is to teach English skills to non-native speakers in reading, writing, speaking, and listening, along with the requirement to assess the student's progress through quizzes, tests, and assignments. And lastly, creating a positive learning environment that promotes participation, critical thinking, and creativity. As an ESL teacher, you are required to acquire the skills of strong communication, verbal and written, strong interpersonal skills, and the ability to build positive relationships with colleagues, students, and most importantly, parents. Creativity and innovation in teaching methods and materials. As an ESL teacher, an ESL teacher is required to get these specific qualifications in order to integrate the skills they have learned into the classroom. These qualifications include, but are not limited to, earning a bachelor's degree in education, earning a TSOL or TFL certification, have a previous teaching ex- have a previous teaching experience in ESL or EFL, and lastly, be fluent in English and proficient in one or more languages. The overall salary for an ESL teacher in the United States is $56,698, making an hourly rate of $27 per hour. However, in the state of Michigan, an ESL teacher's salary is $53,937, making an hourly rate of $26 an hour. Urban areas typically have a higher cost of living compared to rural areas. Therefore, salaries in urban schools tend to be higher to compensate for the increased expenses of living. Urban schools also have a much higher demand for ESL teachers due to larger and more diverse student population. This increased demand can lead to higher salaries as schools tend to compete to attract qualified teachers. In contrast, rural areas may have fewer ESL students, resulting in a lower demand and potentially lowering salaries. Lastly, urban schools may have a more competitive hiring process, potentially offering higher salaries to attract highly qualified candidates. Rural schools may offer lower starting salaries, but may provide opportunities for quicker advancement. The increase of the increase in the number of students across American schools has led to a vast teacher shortage. As a result, some U.S. states have changed their qualification specifications, effectively opening a door for a TFL qualified teacher. Um, I actually went through a person and did like ask them a couple of questions. Um, Michelle Natchkey is a certified ESL and ELL teacher in the K through 12 setting in East China School District. Michelle is certified in teaching Spanish K through 12, certified in bilingual bicultural education 6 through 12, and she studied at Macomb Community College in Romance Language and Secondary Teaching Certification, and studied at Oakland University in Teacher Leadership. Michelle enjoys seeing her students gain confidence and demonstrate growth with, with each week and month that passes. She absolutely loves spending time with her English learners, who are very special children with life experiences that far outweigh many of her students that were born and raised in the United States. Michelle uses the Keegan structure when students do not live up to the rules within the classroom. Apology, responsible thinking task, pay restitution of time or other value, and refer to AP for further discipline. Over the course of Michelle's time in the classroom, she has found two very helpful digital resources that she can integrate into the classroom for ESL and for her ELL learners. Edutopia and We Are Teachers for Advice and Comic Relief. The benefits of becoming an ESL teacher are job demand, diverse cultures, open opportunities. There's a high demand for ESL teachers internationally, providing numerous job opportunities. Teaching ESL allows you to interact with students from diverse cultural backgrounds, which enhances your own cultural understanding and global perspective. Lastly, there's a large range of opportunities, like teaching ESL abroad. This alone is a great way to experience new cultures and lifestyles firsthand. The drawbacks of becoming an ESL teacher include emotional challenges, language barriers, job security, and funding. Working with students who may struggle with language barriers and cultural adjustment can be emotionally taxing. Language barriers. This is a big drawback as the way some have learned the language may conclude of different translations. For example, the way students in the United States learn to speak Spanish differs from the way it's spoken in Spain in several key aspects: accent, vocabulary, grammar, and teaching methods. These are my sources cited, and thank you.
Awesome job. I like your
Thank you.
That was good.
Guys, I don't know how to stop presenting. Oh, wait,
My
here we go.
slideshow was like so plain compared to your guys.
Oops. Where's the remote? No. If it makes you